kind of a good voice. They call it my Girl Scout voice. I'm here to tell you about the chartreuse buzzards. Now, some of you know about it. I've been asked to tell the history of it. This is an original patch. I'll pass it around. I'd like to have it back so that I can either raffle it off, or if you all want to put your names in a hat, if you're interested in it, we can draw, somebody can get it. You'll notice that it's misspelled. I'll tell you that before it starts around. But in 1974, at Edith Macy Training Center, there was a class given for innovative training methods. And 6 of us from the nation's capital and 3 from Skyline piled into a green van, and my husband said, if you've ever seen a ton of green take off, it was that day. We should have known it was going to be an interesting week because we first stopped at the Tappan Zee Bridge at a motel. We were the only ones in the motel paying. You know, there were the towels that they just bought at the dime store. We got to the restaurant and they had the table set for us. We paid the bill, tipped them, got back to the room, and they called us and said we didn't leave a tip. But we had 3 accountants with us who went down and looked over the shoulder at the girl when she was counting the money. We had left a tip. But anyway, we got to Macy, and anybody that's been there knows that you gather on the singing steps before meals. Well, this girl from Seal of Ohio, Dee Covey, some of you might know her, she didn't know what she was doing. She taught me this song. And being a crazy person that likes crazy songs, it was really neat because we were taking very serious stuff, you know, values clarification where you pretended like you were a lemon and stuff like this, you know. Ever so often somebody would say, we need a break. And when they'd say it, I'd jump up and start ringing, 3 chartreuse buzzards. Or somebody, like we were in meditation and somebody would be saying all the problems they had with their girls and somebody would go, what a shame. And then Nixon resigned while we were up there, and some people were going, rejoice! So the song kept going through the week, you know, it just kept going, and some people learned to make slides out of old slides. And Ginger Shields, who was one of the ones with us, made a chartreuse buzzard slide and slipped it into this girl's presentation. And she was giving us this real nice presentation, and all of a sudden there was a chartreuse buzzard. Well, we had some Canadian Girl Guides with us, and they'd always say, we'd rather be blue. Well, this buzzard appeared every place. He appeared in the bathroom, on the water tower, and along with on the water tower, it said we'd rather be blue in chalk. I mean, we didn't paint anything, you know. Although it came back that we had defaced the water tower, and I thought I was going to get called in and everything ripped off my uniform at that time. But anyway, it was Ginger Shield, and then we learned that Macy was closing. This was the last session ever at Macy. They didn't tell us till the last day. So we thought, can't do that, you know. And they said, well, nobody knows about Macy. So when this ton of green started coming back down the Jersey Pike, you know, we started thinking and we said, we got to do something. Why don't we form the International Order of Chartreuse Buzzards? You know, we'll sell patches, we'll save Macy. Well, really, you know, we had had too much innovative training, I think. But anyway, we came back and we met one day to do gravestone rubbings. You know, this is trainers. If you know a group of trainers, you know we do odd things. And while there, we designed the patch, and Ginger drew it. And she didn't know how to spell chartreuse, and she ordered it, and that's why it's misspelled. So then we decided we'd just say that's the way we wanted it. 1,000 patches to begin with. Well, you know, we thought, what are we going to do? We'll have swaps for the rest of our lives. So we wrote a legend of the chartreuse buzzard, and we called it the friendly bird of scouting. And if you ever saw someone that had a buzzard patch, you would give them the dead tree sign. And that this friendly bird was going to fly all over and tell everybody about Edith Macy. And you know, we had no publicity. We wrote to everybody that was there, and there was one person that was there with us. And we wrote them letters and told them we sold them for 50 cents. No postage. We did that with our seed money that we had all invested. Well, 2 years later, we had sold 8,000 patches all over the United States, Australia, behind the Iron Curtain in Poland. It just was really amazing what happened with them. And they're still sold at the Seal of Ohio, although they have Macy on the bottom of theirs. And Betty Filbert? Rutledge, that's right. She wrote me a letter this last summer and said that we've passed $10,000. And the chartreuse buzzard, in '76, we went back to Macy's 50th anniversary. And we presented, my husband in the meantime had made a big chartreuse buzzard flag that flew at the 75 convention here in Washington at the Shoreham Hotel. There was a buzzard roost where people could come and relax. And we raised money at that. And if I'd known anybody wanted to know about it, I would have brought the flag with me, but I didn't. But so in '76, we went back with the flag and a new legend and presented the money to the national, to a board member who was there at Macy. And that started the fund drive for Macy. Then the national board decided there was enough. I think we turned in close to $4,000 after 2 years. And they decided there was enough interest to keep Macy going, and that started the big fund drive, and it's now reopened. And it's all because of that crazy bird. And I know, I think it was Colleen was down in North Carolina once, and somebody came by and gave her the dead tree sign, and she sent me a postcard that said, "You and your darn buzzard." Do you remember that, Colleen? Okay, now we're going to sing. And I'll stand for a short while. I can't stand for the whole thing, but I'll stand and show you a dead tree. Now, a dead tree can be anything you want it to be. It can go like this. It can go like that. You can make a dead tree any way you want. And I'll do the best I can sitting. So everybody, you got to stand to do this. You all been sitting long enough. Okay, now there's really not much tune to the buzzard. It's you all might recognize it. It's close to 3 blind mice, but it's really the movement, you know. So it starts. You got to make a. Oops, let me turn around here. You got to make a buzzard. Buzzard, go like that. Okay. 3 chartreuse buzzards. 3 chartreuse buzzards. 3 chartreuse buzzards sitting on a dead tree. 1 flew away. 1 a shame. 2 chartreuse buzzards. 2 chartreuse buzzards. 2 chartreuse buzzards sitting on a dead tree. 1 flew away. 1 a shame. 1 chartreuse buzzard. 1 chartreuse buzzard. 1 chartreuse buzzard sitting on a dead tree. 1 flew away. 1 a shame. No chartreuse buzzards. No chartreuse buzzards. No chartreuse buzzards sitting on a dead tree. One has Three chartreuse buzzards. Three chartreuse buzzards. Three chartreuse buzzards. Sitting on a dead tree. Has a patch gone all the way around? What? Huh? Oh, there was also, in '76, when we went back to present the check, we had an outdoor cooking session. It wasn't at Macy, it was across the street in that other camp. Yeah. And so we were doing gourmet cooking, and it was up at the top of the mountain. So I volunteered to take my car so I could go out and buy the groceries. You know, I wasn't going to climb that mountain. And there was a lady from Philadelphia there in our group, and she made up the Chartreuse Buzzard Outdoor Cookbook. And all the money for that went to the library at Macy. She specified, but that also... Did she really? Well...
Say your name so it's on the table.
March Cathy.
That, yeah, right.
C-A-T-H-E-Y.
But some people still, I have some copies of it still. And everything that was written.
No, I want to add something. It's so refreshing and wonderful to see you here. Do you know why? Because we bid farewell to one of our very, very long-time employees, Jay Slover. You all remember him. And we had a party, and I was on the committee to plan the party. And right in this room, when it was still Rockwood, Glory, four other ladies in formal gowns, I might add, standing right where this first row is presenting just what we are all doing. It was hilarious. I have pictures. Hopefully next year if you come, you'll see them in the album because she has offered, remember those of you who were at the storytelling this afternoon, she offered to put all my pictures in an album. Maybe next year they'll be there. So you'll see them. It's real good to see you here again tonight, Lori.
Thank you. So you never know what you can do without any publicity. This year it was in the Leaders magazine, and that was the first time national acknowledged that we really, oh, wait a minute. Well, you know, the mind goes after a certain age. At the '78 convention in Dallas, they presented me with the first chartreuse trainer's pin. And that is the reason the trainer's pin is chartreuse, is because the trainers that were at that session, we were a little upset because everybody had a position pin but trainers until that time. And Anne Franklin, who was one of the trainers that we had, she was on the board, and she recommended that they make a trainer's pin and that they make it chartreuse. So if you ever wonder where that weird color came from, it was from a ton of green up in Macy in '74.